Hello, everyone. I am Cass with College of Lore.
I am the Penitent with College of Lore.
Our microphone broke today,
Yeah,
like right before we started recording this, and I fixed it, which was very stressful.
fixed.
Fixed in, like, air quotation marks. My life is being held together with duct tape right now.
So is our mic.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. So if our audio quality becomes bad in the next couple of videos, that's why. It's already bad, in fairness.
We'll be ordering new mics, but if you want to help us do that,
Donate to our Patreon.
yeah, we have a Patreon.
Yeah, subscribe to our Patreon. Also subscribe to our channel for stuff that we're doing on YouTube.
Yeah.
This is an episode of Ranked. Today we're ranking all the Artificer subclasses. That's going to be in the title, so you will know that.
If you want to rank something, or you want us to rank something, if you
Yeah.
want to rank something, go ahead.
Go
If you want
for
us
it.
to rank something, we have polls on our Patreon. If you want to get on
We're
there.
going to have polls on a lot of stuff everywhere, all the time.
And hey, are you a company that has too much money?
Yeah.
Are you perhaps a company that is just you have money that will replicate infinitely?
Yeah.
And it's filling your rooms full of money faster than you can get rid of it.
Yeah.
Well, might I recommend your ad space could go right here.
Right here, where it is, where we're talking right now, we can put your ads here.
I could do an ad pitch for you that's funnier and more functional than this one.
Yeah. I bet.
So if you are a company and you wanted to give away money, there
Give
are
it to
worse
us.
ways to waste it.
It's not a waste, we're cool.
Be seen by dozens of people.
At least. Maybe more. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the Artificer subclasses today. We are talking about all 7 of them that are officially released, and also an archived Unearthed Arcana one.
Yes.
Including the stuff that's on, like, Eberron stuff. That's released on the DMG.
Yeah, so we're doing the Tasha's Cauldron ones
Yeah.
/ Eberron book ones. The Exploring Eberron's one released by Dread Metral.
Yeah,
and
that's a whole thing.
any Unearthed Arcana that wasn't remade.
Yeah, which is 1 in this case.
Yes.
Basically, we're doing anything you can, like, vaguely find on the internet.
There'll be a lot for, like, Fighter and Cleric that weren't remade.
Yeah.
There's just
One of
for
those
this
is one of our favorites.
We're ranking them based on flavor, functionality, ease of access to a degree.
You did all this, so you're
Yes.
gonna talk to me about it, and you're gonna explain to me why these are where they are.
Yes. There's stuff on here. I personally am not a big fan of subclasses that give you another thing to manage.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Similar to the Beastmaster Ranger, there is a subclass in here that is pretty good, but
But it does that.
it does that, which is why it's lower than a few.
Action economy is hell already.
Yes. If I liked the feel of it and it does something functional, I really like the feel of Archivist, but it's not very high because it doesn't actually do a whole lot.
Yeah.
So,
It doesn't do stuff, which is important for a class feature to do.
real quick before we jump into this, what is an Artificer?
So an Artificer is basically... Help, my brain stopped working. An Artificer is basically like an integration of technology and magic and some vague combat ability. Their whole thing is making magic items and infusing regular items with magic and using some degree of more advanced technology in combination with spellcasting to make stuff do cool stuff. So they get kind of a lot of utility spells, and their big thing is like infusing items and creating magical items that can help them in battle.
They are half-casters.
They're half-casters. I think that's kind of dumb.
I agree. I think they and Warlock should both... Basically, I think there should be, like, Artificer / like, Battlesmith.
Yeah.
And, Warlock / like, Hexblade.
Yeah.
And just let them sort it out.
And those should be different things, yeah.
Yeah, and then...
And reflavor some
Yeah,
of it.
full
so they're
casters
not
for
the same.
Warlocks and Artificers.
Yes.
Uh,
We have a homebrewed subclass for Artificers that just makes them a full caster and doesn't do much else.
but this is functionally more like the Warlock side of half-casters than the Paladin side, where
Yeah.
you're not really doing combat very often.
Yeah.
You're not doing physical melee or ranged combat.
Yes. There's no Divine Smite in here.
No.
Most of it is utility, specifically.
So, we're gonna jump into this.
Yeah.
Bottom of the list.
Bottom of the list. Hang on, I didn't pull the list up. I may be stupid. I'll do that right now. I'm stupid, guys. Alright, so the bottom of the list is the Armorer, which doesn't surprise me, honestly.
Yes. Would you mind reading the black text on top of this page?
Yeah, I'll read the black text at the top of this page. An Artificer who specializes in Armorer modifies armor to almost function like a second skin. The armor is enhanced to hone the Artificer's magic, unleash potent attacks, and generate a formidable defense. The Artificer bonds with this armor, becoming one with it even as they experiment with it and refine its magical capabilities. This is pretty basic. You can kind of get a vibe for it just by knowing that.
So, again, as I like to say in Ranked, typically nothing is bad.
Yeah.
This one just, it's weird. The one thing I do really like initially is the spell list you get, the armor spells.
Yes. Those are kind of cool.
Tools of the trade, I think tool proficiency abilities are kind of dumb, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
We don't run games, at least personally, I don't know about your games, where tools come up.
Not very often, yeah. But the spell list is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, the spell list is really cool. You get some decent things. Magic Missile, Thunder Wave.
That's always,
Lightning
those
Bolt.
are great, basically first level spells. They're third level for Artificers. Because Artificers are half-casters, yay!
So the idea is basically you get special armor that can either make you a very strong, like, defensive power hitter or an infiltrator.
Yes.
Guardian or Infiltrator are the two kind of subclasses here.
Yes.
It gives you extra attack, which is kind of going away from the spell stuff into more of a combat thing. Like, it's fine.
It's fine, yeah.
You
get to use your Artificer infusions to modify it eventually. And then depending on which kind of armor you picked, you also get extra stuff at 15th level.
Yeah, the ultimate peak of this is just... It kind of underwhelms me, honestly.
Yeah. It's not actually that, like, deeply exciting.
Yeah. It's kind of just boring, basic.
It's very basic, which is fine, but it's not extra special or cool.
It's kind of the first thing you think of when you think, what's an Artificer subclass? And then they just don't really expand on it. Like,
yeah.
This feels like something was thrown together at, like, 4:30 on a Friday afternoon.
Yes. Which is why it's number 8 on the list.
Yes.
Yay! Number 7 on the list is the Archivist, which is the archived one that we were talking about, which is kind of funny that it's Archivist and it's archived.
Yeah.
You love to see it.
Yeah.
Do you want me to read the blurb on this one?
Yes.
Okay. This one says, what are the best ways to store vast amounts of information? That question has occupied chroniclers and librarians for centuries. Scrolls and books were the finest information-storing methods for a long time, but the first archivists imagined something greater, storing information in a real or an artificial mind. What library could match a mental archive capable of accessing information in seconds? As they work toward this goal, archivists have become masters of storing knowledge and creating artificial intelligences fueled by magic. These techniques have yet to be perfected and institutionalized, and of all artificers, archivists are on the cutting edge of arcane science.
So, I love what they're trying to do here.
I think it's super cool in theory.
This is Psychic Artificer, is the idea.
That's super cool. I wish that worked.
Most of your abilities revolve around either telepathic communication, making objects that can function like sending stones, getting telepathy, basically, or doing psychic damage.
Which is honestly super cool.
Yes, there's some telekinetic abilities, I also believe.
Yes.
I do not like the spell list at all.
Yeah, the spell list is not great. It could be worse.
It could be worse. But I'm not a fan.
Yeah. If it were a full caster, it would be way better. I'm gonna be
I do like Modify Memory on that list, but it's 17th level.
It's 17th level. Modify Memory is super cool to have on that, but it is 17th level.
Yes.
Because it's a half caster, which would be way cooler if it weren't.
But yeah, I mean, you can deal some, like, psychic damage. It's cool that you have a psychic subclass at all.
Yeah.
If
it were, like, a little bit more functional, I think I would actually super like it.
And then, additionally, you know, I've read this over, and I kind of skipped over the blurb initially.
Mm-hmm. It's really cool, honestly.
Like, I like the lore of it. I think it's a really cool idea for lore, and I think you could make a really cool character based off of this.
Yes.
That's a hell of an idea for a campaign in the future.
Yeah.
Basically, make the subclass first, and then base the character around the subclass.
That'd be kind of cool. We should do that sometime. Whenever we finish our infinitely long actual play that we're already doing. Hey, go subscribe to our actual play channel.
There we go.
We're vibing on there.
So yeah, Archivist is number 7.
Alright. Number 6 is Battlesmith. I almost read number 5. I'm stupid.
Steel Defender.
Like, that's the one we were talking about. That's the one where it's super cool in theory, but it makes you manage other stuff in the action economy.
Let's read that blurb.
Yeah. Armies require protection, and someone has to put things back together if defenses fail. A combination of protector and medic, a battlesmith is an expert at defending others and repairing both material and personnel. To aid in their work, battlesmiths are accompanied by a steel defender, a protective companion of their own creation. Many soldiers tell stories of nearly dying before being saved by a battlesmith and a steel defender. In the world of Eberron, battlesmiths played a key role in House Kenneth's work on battle constructs in the original Warforged, and after the last war, these artificers led efforts to aid those who were injured in the war's horrific battles, which is kind of cool.
Hey, so they're medics and defenders, obviously.
They sure are.
What level would you think a medic would get their first healing spell at from their class?
Probably as low as physically possible.
How do you feel at level 9?
I don't think that works. I was looking at that, I was like, for something that's supposed to be a medic, I was like, maybe this... I've played a battlesmith before.
Mm-hmm.
I've used this subclass before. I never read the blurb. I didn't know they did healing.
Yep.
And, like, I know artificers can get cure wounds already. But also, fam, what? Like, this does not... I guess I never got to a high enough level to really, like, utilize that. So that kind of defeats the purpose, I feel like.
I'm thinking about a third level. You're this medic, you're this...
Yeah.
You know, a medic and defender, that's fine.
Yes, that's fine.
You get heroism and shield, that makes sense.
Yes.
You get proficiency with martial weapons.
Yeah, which I guess because combat it vaguely makes sense, but and also no it doesn't.
You can add your int modifier in place of strength or dex for attack
and damage
rolls.
Cool. That is cool. I like that. That's cool.
And then you get this robot thing.
Yeah. Which, like, I feel like that's just kind of random, honestly.
I feel like
I don't know how those are connected.
One of those abilities should have gone into healing, and then you get extra attack.
Yeah. And, like, I get it, it's supposed to be combat-focused,
yeah, like
not
a combat
necessarily...
medic, but the medic part of that seems to be kind of...
shafted in.
Yeah, it's like if combat was all capitalized, and, like, medic was, like, lowercase and in a smaller font.
Yeah. Combat. Medic. Yeah, like, it really does feel like the medic stuff was honestly an afterthought, despite it being an integral part of the lore of the class.
Yes. Again, at 9th level is the first healing ability as well as spell.
Yes. Which is kind of bad.
Basically, you are shackled with something you have to manage all of these things.
It's not honestly even that good healing-wise.
Yeah.
It's 2d6. It's 2d6, and you can use it more than once. But, like, you can also do that with upcasting Cure Wounds, so...
And you have to hit an attack to heal someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Steel Defender is honestly just something you're kind of shackled with.
Yeah. I think it's kind of a pain in the butt to manage.
Yeah, I think subclasses that provide little companions are kind of a pain in the... I've written one.
Yeah, you have. And I will never ever play it because it's a pain in the ass to manage. And that specifically is why I avoid that. And I don't think they should exist. They're annoying to me.
They are. I respect players who want to play them, but they are very annoying.
They are really rough to play. But that's okay. Do we want to talk about number 5?
Yeah.
So 5 is Forge Adept. This is actually, I think, my favorite one. But it's number 5 on the list. I actually think it's pretty cool. It gives you a cool sword, basically.
Yeah, do you want to
read the thing? Yeah. So this one is... Where did this one come from? Exploring Eberron.
Yes.
Right, okay. The Dashur artificers of the Dakani Empire were the finest weaponsmiths in Corvair's history. That is a lot of words that I don't know what they mean. As a Forge Adept, you carry on these ancient traditions, creating mystical weapons and armor, strengthening allies on the battlefield, and bringing down enemies with weapons imbued with your own soul energy. If you're Dar, again I don't know what that means, you learn these techniques from the masters of your clan. Are you content to follow ancient traditions, or do you want to add your own innovations? If you're not Dakani, did you learn these techniques from a Dashur mentor? Did you steal this knowledge, or are you replicating these traditions on your own? I don't know what half of that means.
What do those words mean?
It's the Eberron setting. I don't know what it means because I don't know shit about Eberron, but, like, that's fine. Anyway, you get tool proficiencies with this.
So, martial weapon proficiencies, you get some damaging, some shielding spells.
Yes. Which, I actually think this one's really cool. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that.
I agree.
It's a word that means something in Goblin. It means Mighty Blade in Goblin, apparently. It's cool. I actually really like this subclass, because I really like combat-based artificers, which maybe means I should make a fighter, or a paladin.
I like it too. I prioritize classes that had more of the feel of a magic tinkerer.
Yes, this is not necessarily that. This is a clearly combat-oriented thing. It literally, the whole thing is the weapon. That's the whole point of it.
It's a cool subclass. I like the subclass. It feels like it should be a fighter subclass.
It does. It does feel like it should be a fighter subclass, honestly. You're right.
I don't really get why this isn't Artificer.
I think you should be able to, like, imbue a cool weapon with stuff as a fighter subclass. I think you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
I think that's what this should be.
So that's why it's down here. I
Yeah.
love the subclass, but I don't love it as an Artificer subclass.
That
I prefer my
honestly is very
Artificers to be more
You
spell.
know I've adapted that to an NPC that we
Yes.
use frequently, and that is why I like that one.
Yes.
I've slapped that onto an NPC, who I don't think will have it in the actual play, but it is someone that comes from the same media, the same module as the actual play we're doing right now. We're doing Curse of Strahd right now, if you guys didn't know that. We're gonna branch out into some other stuff after. Go subscribe to our actual play channel and watch all our videos. I know I already said it. I'm saying it again.
2 plugs. Rule of 3s, so I wonder when the third one's gonna come.
It's gonna come up eventually, don't worry about it. Number 4 is Artillerist.
Yeah, you get a magic little cannon, but let's read the black text.
Yeah, let's read the blurb. An artillerist specializes in using magic to hurl energy, projectiles, and explosions on a battlefield. This destructive power is valued by armies in the wars on many different worlds, and when war passes, some members of this specialization seek to build a more peaceful world by using their powers to fight the resurgence of strife. The world-hopping gnome artificer V has been especially vocal about making things right. It's about time we fix things instead of blowing them all to hell. There's a quote.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, the tool proficiency on this makes zero sense to me. Woodcarver's tools, hello?
You're all
What?
about blowing things up and
making
artillery
and making little guys out of wood.
whittling.
Whittling, yes, you love to see it.
So
The spells on this are not bad.
yeah, the spells are really cool. You get a magic cannon.
You
is the
get
idea.
Fireball at 9th level. Fireball's the best.
Yes. You get a magic cannon is the
You get a magic cannon. It's labeled as an Eldritch cannon.
Yes.
They can do a lot of different stuff.
Basically, this is specialized to be destructive and good in combat, kind of like the previous one.
But this is more
But,
tinker.
Yeah, it's more tinkery, it's more magic flavored.
Yeah.
You know.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is.
It's actually really cool. It's super cool, honestly. I actually really like it in theory. In practice, I don't feel like it does enough stuff. Honestly, I feel like all the Artificer subclasses, or at least most of them, lock you into one specific thing, and I wish they were a little more versatile. And I get that's what a subclass is meant to do.
This one's kind of mid-tier.
This one's mid-tier. I actually don't like this one as much as I like. I don't remember which one.
Yeah.
I actually think I like Armor more than this one, personally.
But it has a good feel.
It is more Artificer-y.
Oh, you like Armor more than this one?
Yes.
Interesting.
Actually. I don't like cannons.
Yeah.
I don't think the cannons are cool enough, I'm gonna be real with you.
I kind of agree, but I think I like the feel of it, and I like...
No, it definitely feels more like a proper Artificer.
The spell list is what put it over for me.
That's fair.
Because it has, going through it real quick, it has Fireball, obviously, but it has...
It has a bunch of damaging spells. Like a bunch of them.
Ice Storm, Wall of Fire, Cone of Cold.
And then obviously those are up at higher levels, some of those.
Yeah.
But it's actually a pretty good spell list for what it does especially.
Yeah. I love the spell list on it.
I like that the spell list really matches the flavor, which makes a lot of sense, and some of them don't do that. 3 is Mastermaker. This is the Dread Metrol one. I don't know anything about that. I'll read the thing. A Mastermaker specializes in integrating flesh and steel, creating powerful construct limbs and replacing weak organs of flesh with components of metal and stone. The actions of a few renegade Mastermakers have caused House Kenneth to shun this path in Eberron, but an Artificer might learn these techniques in Dread Metrol or develop them on their own. Okay, that actually fucks hard.
I am a sucker for cool prosthetics.
Yeah, me too. I don't actually know if this is that good, but that fucks.
The spell list does leave a little to be desired for me.
Yeah, no, that could definitely be better.
But the idea is, you...
Getting haste is kind of cool.
Yeah, you're typically someone who's lost a limb already.
Yeah.
And you're building your own limb to replace it.
That is super cool. That's a flavor
it's a good disability thing as well.
It is. That's good disability rep, it's good flavor. That's a great way... Also, that's a great way to explain a character having higher levels before and then dropping again.
Imagine that you lose a limb in character in the early game.
Yeah.
Before you get your subclass even.
Yeah. And then you can subclass into this. That would be really cool.
Yeah, and just, you get a lot of cool things from modifying your form. Eventually you get a bunch of construct abilities at the end.
Yeah. No, it actually gets kind of cool.
But even still, you can punch for, 1d10 plus
it's a
strength.
d10 plus
or
strength
int.
or intelligence, which is super cool. And at 9th level, it goes up to 2d10.
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually kind of busted.
Yeah,
That's a lot of damage.
I really like the subclass, and I feel like you may want to play one of these.
And you can use that infinitely.
I feel like you may.
Yeah, I feel like there's a character that we, depending on what game I'm playing in, I run as either a fighter or an artificer, and this may be the new artificer vibe for her.
Yeah.
This may be the new one.
So that is Mastermaker, and I actually
That
really
is
like
it.
Mastermaker.
Yeah, okay, well I like that one way more now. I didn't know anything about it before. 2 is Alchemist. I don't like this one, so I want to hear why you like this one. I actually don't really like a lot of the already properly released ones.
I like this one. We'll go ahead and read the blurb.
Yeah, okay. It says, an alchemist is an expert at combining reagents to produce mystical effects. Alchemists use their creations to give life and to leech it away. Alchemy is the oldest of artificer traditions, and its versatility has long been valued during times of war and peace.
I like this one entirely because it feels like a spellcaster.
I don't like this one, specifically because it's too random.
Yeah,
the whole thing is the experimental part of it, and you don't know what it'll do to you. And, like, that's not necessarily going to be helpful. Like, if you're trying to, like, heal someone in this situation, like, if you just have to pray that it works to help someone, like, function, and you get, like, if you're trying to heal them or give them an AC bonus or whatever, and then what happens is their walking speed increases by 10 feet per hour, like, that's not fucking helpful.
Yeah.
It is a D6 table, and it's too random for me. It's too risky. You can't know what it's going to do.
So...
And that is very difficult to manage for me.
I don't like the initial thing. I don't like the experimental elixir bit.
Yeah.
What I do like is everything else.
That's fair.
So I like the spell list, obviously. Healing Word is huge to get off the bat.
That is fair. That is fair. I will give you that.
So is Mass Healing Word. So is Death Ward.
Yeah. And those are high-level spells in this, but it's not bad overall.
Alchemical Savant
Savant.
is...
Is it not Savant? I don't know how you say that word.
Let us know in the comments.
Tell me how to pronounce that word. I've always pronounced it Savant. Anyway.
But, like...
Chemicals.
You can heal.
Yeah.
With that. Restorative Regents is actually a really good healing ability. Lesser res without expending a spell slot is powerful.
That's good, yeah.
And then greater res or heal without expending a spell slot is even cooler than that.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
So
it just takes so long for this to get good, and elixirs are not great.
Don't like the 3rd level ability, but I love everything else about
That's fair. If something's 3rd level ability isn't good to me, I'm not going to take it because that's what you're going to use the longest.
Yeah, I get it. That's I think it's style of play difference.
Yes. Like, most of the campaigns that I play in, because I'm so indecisive, I don't actually get that far in them. And if I'm not going to be able to use a 15th level ability, I'm probably not going to pick that subclass.
Yes. I chose it personally because I like the other stuff, and it feels more like a caster than a lot of the other ones.
That is fair. And if you're going for caster vibes, which you are, I lean more into the combat side of Artificers, and you lean more into the caster side of Artificers, and that's why these are totally different for us. But we're going off of your ranking.
Yes.
Anyway, number 1 is Maverick, and I know that this is also a very caster-focused one, and that's why you put it at number 1.
Yes.
I think I would have a very different ranking than you, and maybe I should make my own list and put it in the description or something.
Yeah, or a comments. Pinned comment.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll read the description of this one. In the world of Artifice, the Maverick is a jack of all trades and master of none. A Maverick is always experimenting with new designs, forever abandoning yesterday's work in pursuit of a new obsession. While often dismissed by other artificers as eccentric amateurs, in their refusal to follow established tradition, a Maverick may stumble on remarkable breakthroughs, though their idiosyncratic techniques can rarely be replicated by others. So this one gives you a spell list, like just a totally different spell list.
Yes.
And you get more as you go. Artificers prepare spells. You get a new class's spell list at 3rd level, 5th, 9th, 13th, and 17th. Same that you get class spells.
Yeah.
Subclass spells for the rest of Artificer things.
And the whole
You don't get subclass spells for this because you can pick so many other ones. And then it has, like, the cantrip specialization stuff.
Yes. The whole thing is that they can do other classes' spells. It's kind of like one of the Bard subclasses.
Yeah. I don't remember which one you're talking about. Is it College of Lore? Shit, that's us. Wow, I can't believe it. It's College of Lore. Hey, that's us. I don't remember if that's the one it is or not. I'll have to look it up later. But yeah, basically the point of it is you get to do stuff from other classes. And because of the spell lists that you get as part of Arcane Breakthroughs, which is the 3rd level ability that lets you pick other stuff, the 9th level ability in this class lets you upcast by 2 levels from the spell slot that you're using. You can do that more than once.
Super cool.
That is
And
so good.
the other ability at ninth level, for a class that prepares spells, you can sub out spells as an action.
Yeah. You can do it once.
Yes.
But you can do that. And you, at 15th level, you gain an additional spell slot of every level that you have.
Yeah.
Which is super good.
I love Maverick.
That's so good.
Maverick is probably my favorite Artificer.
See, I don't even like the spellcasting angle that much, but this is definitely the best Artificer subclass.
Yeah.
Like, that's just really good. And that feels... See, honestly, that feels more like a traditional caster thing to me. But if that's the vibe you're going for, that's fine. It doesn't feel technology-based enough. It doesn't feel, like, inventory enough to me. But if you're going for the caster vibe of Artificer stuff, that makes a ton of sense.
So, yeah, I really like this.
I definitely like that as a subclass. That's one that doesn't feel like it should be an Artificer subclass to me.
I agree. I think it might work better as a Bard subclass or
I think that would be a
Wizard
super cool Bard subclass if they... Yeah, Wizard subclass that would be awesome on. It would be really broken to get extra spell slots as a wizard, I'll be real.
Yeah.
That would be so broken.
But I like...
There's a reason it's not on a wizard, and I think that's the reason. So that would be too good.
While we're on the topic, is there anything you feel the Artificer lacks for subclass?
Honestly, I just wish all of the really standard ones that were already released had more to them.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of Artificer stuff... I like Maverick because it's not locked into one vibe. I like a lot of the ones that don't lock you into doing one specific thing. And I know that's kind of the point of subclass, is to hone a focus, but I feel like there are a lot of subclasses that give you something really unique and interesting. And Artificers are so... They fall flat to me.
They do.
A lot of them, especially the ones that are officially released in Tasha's Cauldron, I feel like they fall so flat and so bland compared to stuff like... there are some, like, subclasses and other things that I find so fascinating and so interesting. And I know this one isn't, like, a official release. The Echo Knight is the coolest subclass in the world.
Yes.
I love that subclass. That's so unique and interesting, and it's totally contrary to the normal vibe of a fighter.
No bias or anything.
No, no bias. Shut up. I like Echo Knight, okay? I think it's cool. I think that there are so many more unique things, and that's why I like the unofficially released ones a lot more. I like the Eberron ones a lot more. I like Mastermaker, I like Maverick, I like Forge Adept. All of those are way cooler to me than the standard ones, and maybe I just don't like standard Artificers. Maybe that's my problem.
So, obviously, I did the ranking, and maybe they should have had more input from you this list.
Well, I should just make my own
What would
list.
your top 3 be off top right now? What are yours?
Honestly, Forge Adept is probably in my top 3. I don't know about the other two. If Archivist was cooler, if Archivist was more useful, it would be in my top 3.
Mastermaker?
And then, no, actually not Mastermaker. I like it for flavor, I don't actually like it that much otherwise. Probably Maverick would also be in my top 3. So that we can agree on.
Yes.
If Archivist were better, it would be in my top 3. I might put Mastermaker there otherwise.
Yes.
Forge Adept, Mastermaker, and Maverick, and all of those are the ones that aren't officially released.
Yeah.
Which, sorry, I like things that are really unique and give the thing a totally different vibe to everything else. And I know the point of an Artificer is to be able to create technological stuff, but it doesn't... It feels like they're all exactly what you'd expect. And I like subclasses that make it a little more unique.
So, yeah, and I like to specialize...
And maybe I just sound stupid talking about this.
More magical, the aspect of it. That being said, there is no way to Artifice wrong.
No. All of these are cool, they're all fine, just... I would definitely rank some of them very differently than you did. I would probably have Alchemist at the bottom, and you have it at number 2. I will try to rank it myself and put it in the description. I might forget.
And I feel that this video will accomplish at least one thing.
Which is?
Which is making the crowd that believe it's pronounced Artificer very angry.
It's not pronounced that way. There's no way it's pronounced that way. I refuse to believe it.
So with that being said,
I refuse to believe that. If you say that, you're wrong. Sorry, guys.
If there's any interest in it, I will put a summary of Bleeding Machine, which is my homebrew Artificer subclass.
You have 2.
Oh.
You have 2, because you also have War Machine.
Right, I have 2 Artificer subclasses that I've made. Homebrewed, War Machine, and Bleeding Machine.
Which one of those is full caster and one of those is super combat focused.
Yes.
And I actually think, I don't remember which one of these it is. It might be Mastermaker that actually has a vaguely similar vibe to War Machine. I don't remember if that's
So,
the one I'm thinking of.
If there's any interest, I'll probably put those up on
It's
Twitter
totally different,
or
but it's vaguely the same.
on Twitter or in the comments or
Yeah.
what have you. Check out my Twitter, by the way.
Yeah, you have a Twitter. We have an official Twitter that I have not posted anything on yet. I have one tweet.
Yeah.
Maybe you should take over managing the official Twitter. I don't want to tweet when the episodes come out, when the uploads come out, because, like, they come out at the same time every day and nobody needs to know that.
Yeah.
But I'll tweet other stuff.
So that being
eventually.
said, thank you for watching us here at Call
thank you guys for coming to our video. Come to our humble home where we post YouTube content all the time. Remember to like and subscribe.
Yeah, Patreon.
Yep.
All that stuff.
Patreon, we need money. Like I said, our microphone broke. We're gonna have to replace it sooner or later, so give us money so we can do that, please. Alright, yeah.
Thank you for watching this video from College of Lore. Remember to like this video, subscribe to join the party, and have a fantastic adventure.